What would you do if you came across a ship drifting silently in the ocean, its crew nowhere to be seen, but the kettle was still warm and meals sat untouched on the table? This is exactly what happened in 2007 when the Kaz II, a small fishing vessel, was found eerily floating off the coast of Australia, completely abandoned, yet showing signs that someone had just been on board. The mystery of the Kaz II is one of the most baffling maritime disappearances ever recorded, leaving experts and enthusiasts questioning what could have happened to the crew and how a fully functional ship could end up completely empty. The Kaz II was a 12-meter catamaran, not particularly large, but robust enough to handle long trips along the ocean. On April 18, 2007, the Australian authorities were alerted after the vessel was spotted drifting in the Coral Sea. When rescue teams boarded the ship, the first thing they noticed was how normal everything appeared. The engines were running, the sails were set, allowing the ship to drift steadily. Life jackets were neatly hung, personal belongings were in place, and the most chilling detail of all, meals were left on the table, still warm. Tea mugs sat next to plates of food, as if the crew had simply vanished mid-meal. It was a scene that looked like a snapshot of ordinary life frozen in time. The three crew members, Piotr Masjak, Andrew Haynes, and John Parsons, had disappeared without a trace. No distress signal had been sent, no signs of struggle, no evidence of a fight, no clues indicating an attack. The vessel showed no external damage. Everything suggested that the men had left voluntarily or had been swept off in a sudden event that left them no time to react. But nothing in the surrounding waters or on the boat hinted at such a catastrophe. The calmness of the sea and the intact ship made the disappearance even more puzzling. Maritime investigators immediately ruled out piracy. The Coral Sea is not a known hotspot for attacks, and there was no evidence of theft or forced entry. Foul play seemed unlikely. Could it have been an accident? Perhaps the men had fallen overboard one by one. But the ship's setup suggested otherwise. The sails were still set, and the rudder was positioned to maintain a steady course. It seemed the crew had not been scrambling or trying to regain control. If anything, everything on the ship indicated normal activity right up until the moment they vanished. The phenomenon of ghost ships is well documented, but the Kaz II case stood out because of the warm meals and functioning engines. Many ghost ships are found months or years after being abandoned, but this vessel suggested the disappearance was recent. Some experts speculated about a sudden medical emergency, maybe carbon monoxide poisoning from a gas leak in the engine or stove. Others suggested an unexpected rogue wave or freak weather event that swept the crew into the sea, leaving the ship to drift unmanned. Yet weather reports indicated that conditions were calm and no waves or storms were recorded in the area at the time. Another theory pointed to sailing accidents involving the autopilot system. Modern catamarans can maintain a set course using automated navigation, which could explain why the Kaz II continued drifting without anyone at the helm. But even with autopilot, it is almost impossible for all three men to disappear at the same time without leaving at least some signs on deck, like life jackets flung or personal items scattered. The complete lack of disturbance added to the chilling nature of the incident. The story of the Kaz II captured international attention. Media outlets ran headlines calling it a real-life ghost ship, and people around the world speculated endlessly about what might have happened. Was it an unexplained maritime disaster, an alien abduction, or something supernatural? While most experts dismissed paranormal explanations, the eerie details, the warm meals, the functioning engines, the neatly arranged items, made it impossible to ignore the strangeness of the case. The ship seemed ready for its crew to return, yet no one ever did. Search teams scoured the surrounding waters, but no bodies or signs of the crew were ever found. The lack of debris suggested that the men had not been carried away by violent waves, yet no trace of them appeared elsewhere. Rescue teams could not locate a single clue about their fate, leading to widespread frustration and confusion. The Kaz II became a symbol of how the ocean, even in calm conditions, can suddenly and inexplicably erase lives, leaving behind only questions. Maritime experts continue to study the Kaz II. It serves as a reminder of the inherent dangers of the sea, where even small routine trips can turn deadly without warning. While the vessel itself was recovered and examined, forensic analysis provided no concrete answers. Investigators could only speculate, creating scenarios based on patterns seen in other maritime disappearances. Some theorize that the men may have fallen overboard during a sudden, unexpected shift of the catamaran. Others suggest a combination of environmental factors and human error. But with no survivors and no witnesses, the case remains unsolved. The Kaz II also sparked broader discussions about safety at sea. Modern vessels are equipped with GPS, emergency beacons, and communication systems designed to prevent exactly these kinds of disappearances. Yet the crew either failed to activate them or were incapacitated too quickly to send a distress call. It highlighted how, even with technology, the unpredictable nature of the ocean can leave people vulnerable. Every detail of the ship suggested life continued normally, moments before something inexplicable occurred, making the case one of the most chilling maritime mysteries of the 21st century. Stories like the Kaz II remind us that the ocean is vast and unforgiving, capable of swallowing people without a trace. The ship became a lasting enigma, a cautionary tale for sailors and enthusiasts alike. The idea of a floating vessel with no one aboard, meals still warm, engines running, and personal belongings in place captures the imagination because it defies normal understanding. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest scenes, a cup of tea, a plate of food, a well-tied rope, can become symbols of something truly terrifying when context changes. Even years later, the fate of Piotr Maszczak, Andrew Haynes, and John Parsons remains unknown. Their disappearance serves as a case study in maritime mystery and continues to intrigue researchers, writers, and the general public. The Kaz II is often cited in discussions of ghost ships, but it is unlike any other documented incident. The combination of ordinary life abruptly halted, absence of crew, and perfectly functioning vessel makes it unforgettable. The Kaz II raises unsettling questions about what could happen when people are suddenly removed from the environments they understand, leaving only the ordinary behind. How can 3 experienced sailors vanish without a trace on a small vessel in calm waters? What unseen forces, or unlikely coincidences, could have led to such a disappearance? The mystery lingers because the scene doesn't make sense, yet it is real, documented, and deeply unnerving. The ship itself has been preserved in memory and in reports, often described as a snapshot of life interrupted. Every detail, the warm meals, the tidy decks, the running engine, points to normalcy that was shattered in a moment. It's a stark reminder that even in the modern age, the ocean retains the power to surprise and terrify. For those fascinated by maritime mysteries, unexplained disappearances, and ghost ships, the Kaz II remains one of the most compelling cases ever recorded. If you want more chilling real-life mysteries like this, make sure you subscribe.